I would say that I mean, most of the time, I'd say 90% of the time she's on my side. 10% she might be like, "Hey, I'm neutral," but most of the time she understands my side. But my wife does. She doesn't want to get in the middle of it. It's more of like, I'm here for you. She's my wife, so she's here for me. But she's not making decisions. She's not like telling me, "Oh, don't do this, don't do that." In fact, ultimately, it's my decision. And that's something she'll tell me. She's like, "If you made the decision, then you made the decision. I support you." I feel like a good relationship is you support your partner. Even if someone makes a bad decision, you support them. You may not agree with the decision. And I'm not talking about screwing somebody out of money. I'm just saying, like, you say, "Hey, we're done with this relationship." Just doing like my biggest thing is honoring what I said I would do and keeping my word, but parting ways instead of like not keeping my word and then parting ways. I'd rather keep my word, part ways, call it a day, because in the future, when they wake up from their slumber, they'll be like, "Dang, he didn't burn me," And that's something that I think is important.
Yeah.
I think that if you can move on from somebody, but still be like, "Here you go, we're all good," and then it's not working out, but hey, it's okay.
Yeah.
I think it's better than just being cut them off. So my wife, she's supportive because 90 times out of 10, like the people that I cut off are the people that are screwing me over, and I have to just cut it off and move on. Ultimately, like as the leader, I can't have people on my team that are not winning. If things aren't getting done timely, if houses are taking too long, if it's always an excuse after excuse after excuse, it's like, then I can't work with you. And unfortunately, if people make excuses all the time and they want to blame everyone else, 9 times out of 10, when you get let go or fired or quit or move on, it's because you sucked. It is. It's you sucked. And the reality is I've sucked too. I've had some bad freaking business experiences. I've lost money on a flip. I've taken 30K losses before, but I just pat myself off and get up because you know what? I can sit there and loathe in my disgrace and be like pissed off at myself for losing money or trusting the wrong person, or I can get up and go make more. The beautiful thing about life is it's abundant. If we live in our life thinking like everything's going poorly, it's going to keep going poorly. Abundance is something that you have to believe in. And yes, it is very apparent. And yes, there's a lot of ways to make a lot of money, but you have to believe in it. And I think a lot of people believe in lack. And the lack mentality gets them lack. And the abundant gets them abundance. And I've seen that in my own life. I've seen that in other people's lives. But I think ultimately people need to self-reflect. Why did this not work out for me? Why am I blaming someone else? Because because here's the truth. If you're valuable, you don't have to worry about getting it. Like, if you're good, if you're a great architect and someone fires you,
You'll be all right.
doesn't matter. You'll get another job.
Yep.
If you're a phenomenal contractor and you don't work out with somebody, guess what? Someone else is going to hire you.
Yep.
But if you have no value and you're not consistently producing results, it doesn't matter. Like, that's why for me, people are like, "Oh, you're this, you're that," or they talk shit to me. I'm like, yeah, well, guess what? I was making it before I met you. I'm going to make it after you're gone. And I don't give two shits what you think of me. Because I made it before you, I'll make it after you, and I'll perform you all fucking day, every day. Because most people that talk shit to me, they can't perform like me. It's like I know I'm not Michael Jordan. I know I'm not, Dennis Rodman. I know I'm not what's other
LeBron James.
I'm not LeBron James.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go to the basketball court and be like, "Yo, guys, I kick your ass." I'm not that dude. But I'll tell you right now, if they sat me down and said, "Hey, dude, here, LeBron, here's $1 million for you and $1 million for Justin," I'm gonna outsmoke LeBron when it comes to money and business all day long with the amount of money if we have the same amount of money. Now, if LeBron has 300 million and I got $1 million, well, obviously he's gonna have a competitive advantage of me. Mm. But if you put the same $1 million in front of me and the same $1 million in front of him, I'm gonna make more than him in a year all day long.
And that also doesn't account for decision making, influence, the network that you've created and all that type of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, I believe that a lot of people, there's a lot of opportunities in the world, Real estate's just one. You know, you can do a lot of different things. You can freaking make a pizza shop. You can have a breakfast shop. You can have a clothing store. You can have an online business. There's so many ways to make money now. It's like, stop complaining. Go start making money. There's no reason to complain or be mad. If something doesn't go well for you, you got to be like, okay, pat yourself off and get back up and go make it. Don't blame anyone else for your freaking downfall. I've told this to everybody I've worked with ever. It's the only person's fault in your failure is you.
Accountability. Got to be accountable.
You can't blame me or somebody else or somebody else. You can't blame anybody else but yourself. If you didn't do the job that everybody asked you to do, and then you're mad that you didn't perform, and that numerous times, because most of the time it's not, you didn't get fired off of one thing. Mm-hmm. You got fired off of 30 or 40 or 50 things.
I think what's difficult is when you're dealing with people who believe they have no part, no role in, you know, the particular situation. It's like no accountability at all. Like, I didn't do anything wrong and you did everything wrong, which in any relationship can't be true. I don't believe that is true in any relationship where you have, well, yeah, I did everything right, you did everything wrong. That doesn't happen. I just don't believe that. Whatever, even if it's 1 to 99, 1% I'm going to own, and 99% is yours.
Well, it's even people
you got to own that.
It's even people who say my relationship didn't work because people were racist towards us. Like, if I'm with a Latina girl, let's just say you were with a white girl. Mm-hmm. Okay, people go, "Oh, your relationship didn't work out. Why didn't it work out with the white girl? Why didn't it work out with your Latina wife?" Well, it's all her fault. You know, people were racist to her because of her, or you know what I mean. They put the blame on the other couple. It's like, no, you guys didn't work out because you guys weren't strong enough. Because a strong enough couple is going to get through that shit and not care. In fact, a strong enough couple is going to thrive through that shit, because what makes a couple stronger? Not the good times,
right? The
tough times.
Yeah, it's that conflict that builds that character. It's that struggle that builds that strength. And I feel like a lot of people will avoid that struggle because it's hard, but they never get the strength.
I mean, just before we even got here, I ordered 4 orders for 4 different houses and had them ordered, emailed, paid for. Didn't have to show up there or anything. Texted the guy, picked it up, and is installing it as we speak for 4 different houses off of emailing them and communicating with them. My guy couldn't do that. So I'm not going to sit here and batter people, but I'm just saying, you're bringing it up, but ultimately, where's the accountability? I mean, nobody wants to be accountable anymore. Everybody wants to blame everybody else. And the reality is, the day that you can't take ownership is the day you failed. I'd much rather have someone tell me, like, and I've made lots of mistakes in my life, and I've had people tell me, "Hey, dude," and in fact, numerous people have told me, "Hey, bro, you were wrong on this. You're wrong on this." Okay, cool. You know what I normally say when people tell me there's something wrong? I usually say, I'll take all the ownership. I can take all the ownership, because it doesn't make me a weaker person. It doesn't make me a smart ass. Doesn't make me a dick, because I can take all that shit and still thrive.
Yeah.
Because I don't give 2 fucks what people think. I ultimately don't. But what does happen and what does hurt is when someone says something to you, and in that moment, your mind moves.
Yeah.
You know, so like when someone said some shit to me last night, I'm like pissed off. You know, I'm emotionally pissed off because someone said something to me that was so rude and hurtful that's not true, but they're just in that mode of anger. And when people are angry, they don't think logically. And so that's why road rage happens, because by the time they shot somebody and wake up, they're in jail.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh shit, what did I do? And the thing is, like, I just think that at the end of the day, like, talking about it and being face to face and owning what you did and moving on. And I don't care if everybody's my friend, but I'm not trying to create enemies either. I'm not trying to create everybody to be my enemy, but you know, this is the truth. Business is cutthroat.
For sure. It's a battlefield.
If you're not performing,
it's a battlefield.
It doesn't matter.
I agree.